I should take this moment to say something that I'm a virgin.
Go for it.
I've never drank or tasted.
No.
Crazy.
People don't believe me. Never.
Never a sip of coffee.
I've never.
Isn't that weird? That's
Never.
crazy.
Dominicans love coffee.
Until I was about 40, I also had never had coffee.
You guys are crazy. You guys are
I
crazy.
don't-
You want to do it on camera?
No.
Que saquen el romo, que llegue con los guerreros.
Welcome to the New York Times Popcast, your solo por un beso of weekly cultural review. I'm John Caramonica, and I'm the critic.
I'm Joe Coscarelli, and I'm the reporter.
I am Romeo Santos, a musician.
I'm Prince Royce, and I'm an artist. Yeah.
If you know anything about bachata music, if you know anything about the most important Spanish language music of the last 25 years, you know these men sitting with us today. Romeo Santos, the frontman of Aventura, who you know from albums like Generation Next and We Broke the Rules.
Las 5 de la mañana y yo no he dormido nada, pensando en tu belleza y loco voy a parar.
Also has a prolific solo career and has had for the last decade plus.
Noche te seduzco en mi coche, que se empañen los vidrios y la regla es que goces.
And Prince Royce carries the torch for bachata music and has with his many collaborations with stars like Shakira, Mark Anthony, and many more.
¿Quién puede hablar del dolor? Pagar la fianza, pa' que salga de mi corazón.
Their new album is out now. They are also going on tour very soon.
Both born and raised in the Bronx, in Caribbean families, Prince Royce and Romeo Santos are as responsible as anyone else on earth for bringing the local Dominican sound of bachata to an international audience.
From the Bronx to the world. I feel like I can't overstate how big the idea of a shared album between you guys is. This really is the Watch the Throne of bachata.
Thank you.
It does.
Do you prefer that or What a Time to Be Alive?
Yeah,
Listen, whatever you guys want to rock with.
What a Time to Be Alive is dope too, though.
Yeah, that's true. Like, did
Both
you
the-
think of it in those terms? Like, obviously you look out in the world and you see there are these sort of hallmark collaborative albums from greats in their field.
You know, honestly, we didn't think of the concept of the album. We were just creating
Just making
what
records.
felt like the best music at the moment. His essence, my essence, and also challenge ourselves with certain colors, musically speaking, that neither one of us have ever
Mhm.
experiment with, and I think we've accomplished that.
The names that get thrown around when people try to describe who you guys are in your respective fields, in your respective genres. I've heard the Beyonce of bachata. I've heard the Jay-Z of bachata. I've heard the, Aventura as the NSYNC of Spanish language groups. Like, these are like the highest possible comparison points, right?
Yeah.
Does this feel like a climactic moment for your careers, or is it just another chapter?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. For me, it's a continuation. I released in 2019 Utopia. I had the opportunity to collaborate with
All
the
the greats.
pioneers of this music genre. So in
Present.
that sense of the word, this would be a continuation of what I feel is a union.
You can look in the camera and say Zacharias Ferreira.
Zacarías Ferreira.
That album, to me, that's your love letter album
Yes,
to the
yes.
music that raised you. And to me, it's interesting because when I think of like the earliest moments for Aventura, those first few years, you didn't have what we would now think of as like major label bachata. Like, it was a bunch of artists on independent labels. It didn't have the global reach necessarily that it has now.
Right.
And to me, Utopia was like an incredible way of looking back and saying, I haven't forgotten what that was like. I
Right.
haven't forgotten that group of artists, and I brought y'all into my moment
Absolutely.
now.
And you know what's crazy? I kept telling Royce, this felt very much like Utopia.
Mm.
I believe that in Utopia, I was able to record with artists where seeing how my melodies and my compositions lyrically were coming into life and other
Voices.
vocalists
Yeah.
was amazing. This was a continuation of that
Mhm.
fun.
For me, it was like, we're doing this for bachata, we're doing this for the culture, we're doing this for the genre, versus like, I'm doing this like for me or my next album. It's just like a standalone project for me. And I think that you could really feel that in the studio because we're like, I told him like, it's crazy. Like sometimes he'll start a song, another time I'll start a song. He'll interrupt me. He'll sing for a minute. I'll sing for a minute. And that flow is what made it
special.
And it just really felt like a joint project. The goal was really to connect with the fans, get them to have a little bit of traditional bachata, a little bit of pop, a little bit of urban bachata, a little bit of fusions, something we never did before, like San Miguel. And I think that's what made it fun.
La bruja me lo dijo, me hicieron un hechizo, con alfileres clavando un muñequito.
It wasn't just like another project. It was just something much bigger than that, and something that I felt it when it came out. So it was like finally, because we hadn't told anybody. So finally when it came out and I saw the results of people kind of feeling that energy of like, man, this is like holding the flag up for DR or bachata. It was kind of just like such a big moment for bachata that we're still living and that we're currently living. And I don't know if we realize it yet. I hope that we look back 5 years now and be like, damn, that was crazy that we did that.
I think
for the
it
genre,
had not dawned on me till the feedback of the fans. And to answer, I believe this is what you asked earlier. In this album, no hay protagonismo.
Yep.
Help me translate that.
There's no protagonist.
Yeah.
We caught it.
I didn't want to fuck that
You're
word
sleeping
up.
on Joe. First of all, you're sleeping on Joe's Dominican. Joe's half Dominican.
So Dominicano.
Oh, he's from the
My mother's from uptown.
Okay.
My grandparents are from
Awesome.
Santo Domingo. My abuelita's from La Romana.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I grew up on these sounds also.
No, yeah, if you listen to the album, it's a different format in every song. Like it's very unorthodox. There's some records that I could start the verse and he would finish the line. It was weird in a good way.
Yeah.
Fue una experiencia increíble.
The thing that we often say when we talk about great pop music across any genre is true rule breakers really understand the rules. It's not sufficient to just come in and be like, I'm here to break things. You really have to understand how things always have been.
You have to know what you're disrupting.
You have to know
be the
what you're
disruptor.
changing.
We created songs in his recording studio, in my recording studio. We had what we call bootleg studios, portable bootleg studios. Like, set up that mic. If you listen to our vocals in certain records, they're not the cleanest vocals, but you feel the sentimiento,
And you can hear the room a little bit. Like,
And I remember having discussions with the engineer in this project, telling me like, could we re-record those vocals a little bit more professionally? I'm like, no.
No.
That's
Because you never get that feeling.
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
You can't invent the feeling.
It's really
How
kind
you
of
say
just
anécdota?
una anécdota o una anécdota. A detail? No, it's like a memory.
Well, it's
An anecdote.
Like
anecdote.
Anecdote.
Yes.
There we go. Yes.
So,
Okay,
so I want to
see,
share.
we're
I want to
guessing.
share one. There's a particular record in this album called Loquita por mí.
Yeah. That's a perfect example.
And Royce, we're in his recording studio at home. He tells me, "Look, let's just lay down the reference vocals. I'm under the weather." And that was the plan. Let's just lay down, let's create.
It's a little demo.
Yeah. And a few days later, we're listening to the song
And on top of that, we're using like a little bootleg mic as well.
But he's under the weather, and you could hear like this raspiness. Like I kid you not, I refuse to allow him
The
to
next day he's
re-record
like,
those vocals.
It's on
I'm
the
like,
album.
you're not gonna be able to do that like you did it that way. You're not. You have like this raspiness that just gave it like this unique essence that it sounds beautiful. Thankful for this. It's one of the most
it's getting a lot of love streams.
that record. It's probably one of the favorites, if not the.
I want to talk a little bit about how you guys got here. And I was wondering if we could do it, Royce, through your eyes, growing up in the Bronx, in the shadow of Aventura and everything that
It's important to say
Romeo
real New York energy here today. Very important.
New York City.
That's
very
also
important.
just. I'd be remiss if I didn't comment on this water. That's a serious rig.
I just want to say
ring,
no
too.
guest has ever been that hydrated.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
tell you
all. That's
something.
straight H2O.
Yeah. This is
Got
from a
electrolytes in
special
there?
filter, but I will say this: I've been doing this approximately for 17 years.
Wow,
This is
that's why you look so young.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I hope it's the water.
And that's why he stays sober when he drinks.
Because of that thing, right?
Because you
that
already
comes to the
flued
club
it up.
with you? That comes everywhere?
Well, I don't club much, but I can tell you,
It goes everywhere.
I drink 1 gallon religiously every day. When I'm done with this, believe me, the last thing I want to see is water.
Oh my God.
People
No,
offer
he-
me water. I'm like, nah.
No, he can outdrink you because he's
Yeah,
just
clearly.
hydrated.
Yo, you trying to throw? Yeah.
He can outdrink you every time.
Because of that. That's the
because of
secret
that.
weapon.
Because
That's
he's
the
front loaded.
secret.
You're front loaded. That's impressive.
When I know we're gonna
That
go out
was
and
very
drink at
impressive.
my house or whatever, I'll make sure I'll do at least half a gallon.
Just to like be
Here,
sure
gotta
you're
catch
tight.
up. I gotta catch
just
up.
messing with him. Just
I feel like all future guests have a very high bar to cross now for their hydration.
Yeah. Royce, I was asking you about growing up in the Bronx in the shadow of what this man and his friends and family helped
100%.
create. Like, what was your relationship to Aventura, to Romeo's music when he went solo? Like, coming up in that world, trying to do something that he had made his own.
100%. I think I tell him all the time. For me, it's one. This is an honor to be able to collab with it on this album with him, man.
Thank you.
You know, as many people know, growing up in New York City, we always had the OG guys. You know, Anthony Santos, Raulín, Frank Reyes. Aventura brought this youthful touch to the kids. You know, I was maybe like 15, 16. I was singing the songs to the girls in school. We were listening, and that really brought in this genre from the Dominican Republic. That was something that was very perhaps frowned upon and algo de barrio, and really brought it to not only the masses but to the kids. You know, bachata was a genre that my parents were listening to, that I would hear in summer times, and I loved the genre, but it was not something that I would maybe identify as much until the Aventura guys came through and Romeo. And I think that inspired me to, you know, to see guys that came from the Bronx, that came from New York, that I identified with, that came with these crazy lyrics, these songs with so much substance, which I think is a very important thing in bachata too. People don't realize the amount of lyrics and melody on top of very musical genre with guitars and bass. And it's a very rich genre because of that. And I think they brought that over to, you know, giving it a New York swag and that flavor. And definitely, you know, I would listen to Usher and Eminem and so many other artists, but Aventura was definitely a key group that just inspired me to do music, especially because they were where I was from as well, you know?
And on the flip side, Romeo, when did you first notice Royce, and what were your thoughts? Were you at a point in your life and your career where you could already be like, like
my kids,
yeah,
like, you know, like the kids are coming, you
my
know?
children, it's
Or
going,
I want to share my story with Royce in chronological order.
yeah.
I have how you say compadre in English?
Godfather of your son?
I'm guessing this was probably 2004, 2003,
Mm-hmm.
2004. His cousin that baptized my oldest son tells me, "Hey,
Crazy, right?
let's go to my family's house
Wow.
and just to meet, you know, a few family members." I'm like, how many? He's like, "Yeah, just a few."
Just a few.
We go. There's a family
A
gathering
full-blown party.
of 100.
Might have like 100 family
100
members.
people.
Jumping.
So I meet this gentleman, and what's interesting is that years later with social media, that photo has gone viral. I want to take this moment to tell people that's not AI. That is a real photo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I meet Royce, a super humble guy that he has not lost his essence.
And you were already making music at that point?
No, I
Or
wasn't
still
actually.
young?
I was singing like, I wasn't singing bachata yet or like recording songs like that.
Got it.
no.
So maybe I want to say, I could be off with the time frame, but maybe 7, 8 years later, this kid named Prince Royce starts popping underground first. And, you know, I've always been the type to embrace new bachata artists, and there's different levels of doing that. You can embrace by simply, hey, in this day and age, repost.
Yeah.
Just listening to the music, and if I had an opportunity to speak to any of them, like, "Oh, you're doing a great job. You know, keep doing you." It was really nice to see someone else. Aventura was kind of like, I don't want to say alone, but
I would want to say alone.
I'm saying there were other artists as
I know.
well, but the
I know.
one that made the most noise at that moment was
Yeah.
Royce, you know, commercially speaking, mainstream. And then I remember we had a meeting in my former
you
manager's
guys had
house.
reached out maybe like 2010, relatively early actually.
Yeah, it was just like a hey,
we
like
just met up. Yeah, we just met up to
talk,
kick
like,
it. Yeah.
And did
keep
you have
going.
any skepticism of like the next generation? Like, are they
No,
gonna?
no.
Not like us.
That's never been my mindset. Remember, Aventura was always in the early stages, belittled, underestimated. So I didn't want to
Be that for the next guy.
You know, just kind of like ser ejemplar. Don't do what
Yeah,
they
lead by,
did to
lead
you.
by example.
Yeah.
And you know, he can tell you like I was pretty supportive.
Yeah.
As soon as he came out, and I was actually a fan of that album.
Yeah.
So it was genuine. Like I'm like, yo, that's a really fucking good album. Corazón Sin Cara, Stand By Me, and I loved the songs that he actually created. That were Corazón Sin Cara, Recházame, La Última Carta was just basically a few of the great songs in that album. And, you know, from there, he just started taking off. And we kept seeing each other in award shows. And of course, there was that talk of, are we going to collaborate? Are we going to collaborate? And there's different versions of, you know,
What that looks like,
what happened. I could tell you that I'm truly proud of his success. And he held it down. There was a moment that Aventura, let's call it pause.
Yeah, sure.
You know, Aventura had just had a breakup, and this guy just pretty much was the face of bachata for a few years, you know, which made my job as a solo artist much easier.
Sure. It's interesting because one thing that I was very struck by in your breakout single, which is a cover of Stand By Me, for those who don't know.
And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
After, let's call it at that point, 7 or 8 or maybe 9 years of Aventura success, maybe more than a decade of Aventura success, Bachata is at this kind of pivotal moment where there's a tremendous amount of awareness, but it hadn't had, I mean, I hate using the word crossover and we won't dwell on it, but it hadn't maybe had the full crossover moment. You come with a cover of Stand By Me. It's English language. There's also on your label at the time another singer, Leslie Grace, who also did an English language song. And I wonder, in that moment, was part of the thinking, I want to help carry this sound out to people who maybe have never heard Aventura?
100% not. I think it was actually, I actually didn't want Stand By Me to come out. It was actually, we had put out Corazón Sin Cara first and it didn't work.
Y el corazón no tiene cara. Y te prometo que lo nuestro nunca va a terminar.
People were like, yo, at the time, there weren't that many new artists as well.
Yeah, no, it was a very small.
I think during that
small
time, labels weren't signing new artists like that. And they're like, no, you know, we you know, they didn't really want to give the opportunity to new artists. And Stand By Me was actually Sergio George at the time, who was a producer at the label. He would do like covers with DLG and salsa bands at the time.
Yeah.
And he said, why don't you just choose a cover? Covers work. And I chose Usher, You Remind Me. I chose Yesterday by the Beatles, and I chose Stand By Me. And he, because he wanted me to do an El DeBarge song actually. And I was like,
Sorry
no.
to cut you off. Shout out to Sergio George.
Shout out to Sergio George, yeah, for the vision. He had the vision.
Visionario.
He had the vision. So I'm already feeling like the music that I wrote that's original didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do Stand By Me. I go in the studio. It's the last song we record on the album. I do the Spanglish cover. It was just a cover to me. I wasn't thinking about if it was English or nothing or
who it's trying to reach.
Yeah,
it was different.
I mean, I was just like kind of like sure, whatever. Like I already kind of flopped with the first single.
So it was a compromise. It was
a
a commercial compromise.
And then the song's playing on the radio, and I'm happy, but I'm a little bummed out because I'm like, bro, like all these songs that I wrote, so you know, so original music, and that's the song that opened up the doors. And I think it's just weird. It's just a weird thing because I came into Latin music with an English song, you know, with a bachata beat, with a Latin beat. So that was always kind of something that was interesting. And then we re-released Corazón Sin Cara, and now that people kind of knew who I was, then it was able to kind of
And you know what's crazy? We share a similarity in the story of songs that maybe did not connect immediately, but eventually did serve its purpose. A lot of people, a lot of Aventura fans thought our first project was We Broke the Rules. They thought this was Aventura's first album. And that's completely inaccurate. Our first album was Generation Next as Aventura.
Yes. You had a prior.
Yeah, Los Teenagers.
Yes.
Same songs, or the majority of the same songs. But our first commercial success was Obsesión, along with Enseña. The guy in the camera, he's like, yeah.
I remember that.
that shit.
I was at the club.
So, you know, the biggest misconception is these guys blew up with their first project, Obsesión, Enséñame a olvidar, Todavía me amas, Amor de Madre. And crazy, very similar to his story, Generation Next at first, there was some resistance. Like, people weren't really fucking with it. It was too unique.
There's no obvious like
it
was different.
It was too much for the time.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of fusion, a lot of like elements. The purists, the bachata purist fans were like, whoa, what is this? No, I don't fuck with this. I need requinto. I need my regular guitar. I don't want to hear these guys speaking English.
But also you guys as a group, you were big in Europe at that time. There was a lot of motion elsewhere before some of that motion was here. Did you have that same sense of, man, if it's not working here, if that's where it's working, am I even doing the right thing? Like, did you ever look in the mirror and say, I'm second guessing my aesthetic choices?
But do you mean I mean, I'd be lying if I tell you that I was okay with the way things were panning out at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I knew I had a great product. Along my brothers, like, we've all felt this is a great album, Generation Next. What's going on? I recall we did a show, and I never forget, we did a show in Tampa. And, you know, our expectations were to sell out that venue that was just a 500 capacity. And there were probably like less than 60 heads, and that's including the employees
and the family.
You know, and I think that it was a crucial moment for us as a group to just like, do we stick together? Do we continue with our journey? And I remember there was a lot of talk of, maybe this isn't it. Maybe we did it with love and passion. That's not debatable. But it's just not what we should be doing. And I think that the success of Obsesión, and in retrospect, Generation Next, connecting, it just kind of like aligned everything. Like, no, we were in the right path. It's just that certain things don't connect immediately. Now, what's interesting is that it continued to happen in different ways, but we were already immune. Like, okay, I know what this is.
Interesting.
When we released La Guerra, which was, you know, this dude is, I love it. I love it. The camera guy knows my whole entire story.
I was crying.
I appreciate that, brother.
My girlfriend broke up with me.
I remember La Guerra being our first single after Obsesión's Fenómeno.
Yep.
Which is a hard follow.
And it flopped.
Yeah.
Commercially speaking, La Guerra flopped. Today, people remember La Guerra as a classic.
Yeah.
Same thing with Hermanita. What we today know as social media back then was the barbershop and the beauty salon.
Yep.
I remember friends of mine, you know, they didn't want to hit me with the bad news, but they were always honest, and they go, oh, listen, bro, I just came from the barbershop. And,
I just got to line up, and they're not messing with it.
Yeah, and I was curious to know, I'm like, what are they saying about Hermanita? They like, well, just for context, like, the theme of that song is domestic violence, you know, my sister.
Storytelling.
My sister, the character's sister is going through this situation, and I'm just trying to protect her and advise her to get out of the relationship. So my friend at the time is like, you know, the talk is like, I can't drink to this shit. You know, like, domestic violence and bachata, come on, man. And again, in retrospect, decades later, this is an Aventura classic. It's a song that people don't remember that it was neglected at the time, but I do.
I have always felt that the shape of bachata was whatever you woke up and decided it could be. You and your bandmates, but that was the shape of the genre, certainly for several years. But that there's a liability to that.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you could talk about what the burdens of that are.
Well, I could tell you, I pride myself, and me auto proclamado the king of bachata. So that's a huge responsibility because when you talk that shit in your records,
you gotta be about it.
You gotta own it. I'm okay with the pressure. You know, it doesn't change the fact that sometimes you could be a bit sensitive and you could somehow feel like, you're not fucking with this right now? What? Oh, no. That song and not this one, you know. I'm at a stage in my life where I tell my friends and, you know, my camp, when I hear certain negativity, I'm like, just wait and see.
Right. They're gonna come around.
I believe, and I don't want to sound arrogant, I don't think I've ever failed in conclusion. You know, yes, I've failed to connect immediately.
There may be an obstacle.
Yeah. And even when things have not commercially speaking done the right numbers or people are praising the song, it serves a purpose for me to say I should never do that again. Or let me stick to these type of themes. That's why when I do an album, there's variety.
Yeah.
You know, people have an interesting take, some. When they go, yeah, but you know, these infidelity themes, you know, it's like, that's what you like. When I produce an album, I talk about a lot of things. You know, sometimes temas sociales, amor, desamor. And if there's 2 records that talk about infidelity, ironically, those are the ones that
everybody
take off. You know, like I'll give you a perfect example. If you ask me my personal opinion, I believe that maybe Jose from Aventura may be a better structured record, more cohesive than Los Infieles.
Las maletas en la puerta, José ya se va a marchar. A la guerra por su patria sin fecha.
But Los Infieles is an anthem.
Tú y yo durmiendo con los enemigos, los seres que jamás hemos querido, los dos haciendo un bendito capricho.
I believe that it's an anthem and has a big reason, and it's about your typical infidelity. They love that shit. And I think it's the same situation with you, right? Like,
my challenge was, what do I do that was different than Aventura at the time?
Of course.
You know, like, I'm like, you know, what hasn't been done? And I start adding violins to tracks, you know, ukulele. And then I get criticized as well for that, you know?
And we shifted to a whole different, you talk about the burden as well. Like,
you know,
what's the...
No, but that was kind of like the thing too. So I'm kind of going through like
a therapy session here. Like,
I didn't want to...
Welcome to Popcast.
I didn't want to repeat what they had already done. How could I do things that are on my own? But it was confusing because, you know, I saw other bands that were kind of doing things that were similar to Aventura, getting criticized for that.
Of course.
Then I was being criticized for changing it up.
Of course.
And I think that's what it's all part of it. I think you got to kind of, to add what everybody said,
right.
You just got to follow your gut. Bachata is a very niche genre as well. You know, very different from pop. And it's a very, you know, Dominicanized and very culturally. And it's a sensitive genre because of that. Like, people don't want to like, what do you mean bachata with no guitars? Or what do you mean with violins? Like, we don't do that. And you always got to have that balance of both. Yeah, obviously, I would love to see now as well more bachata artists getting love. And it's just complicated as well because it's so niche and because there's so many layers.
But it's even funny to call it niche because we're talking
Yeah,
niche, but you're selling out the Garden.
Of
Niche,
course,
you're
of
selling
course,
out
yeah.
Yankee Stadium. Niche is a relative
niche-
concept.
The biggest niche of all time, 2.3 billion views on a YouTube video,
Yeah.
and somehow that's niche. But I wonder if, like, Romeo, especially, like, you lived through these various moments of, as John said, the specter of this idea of Latin crossover. You saw what happened with Ricky Martin and Mark Anthony in the late 90s, early 2000s, this sort of almost there. Oh, this one's for good. You know, this one's for, like, we're going to be able to sing in Spanish with our traditional styles, mix it with American genres for different audiences, and then it would recede, right? It would come up and then it would recede. And Aventura, obviously, part of that. And you do a thing where I think quite early, you sort of set the blueprint for my version of crossing over. I am going to meet these artists halfway, but they're going to come to my side, 51%, 49%. You know, you're like, I will work with someone like a Drake or an Usher or a Neo, but they're going to be in my world. I'm going to stay where I am and people are going to gravitate towards me. I'm not sacrificing anything.
Yeah, that's a great question. And if I'm being honest, it was a huge challenge. Maybe today at 44, I'm a bit more mature and understand why the label, former managers were like, this is a bit risky. Do you really want to maybe do a English version of the Drake record? Do you want to maybe do a version of this bachata, like Obsession, in only English? I always had my vision. I always felt comfortable with the possibility of failing as long as I was being truthful to my craft. And honestly, it's more challenging to sell that narrative when you have amazing Latin artists like Ricky Martin, Gloria Estefan, Mark Anthony, Shakira, Enrique Iglesias, Julio Iglesias, just to name a few. I'm over here bossy trying to do something completely different, like bringing what we call the crossover, but for them to cross over into my Latin world, that was that's the perfect word, pretty bossy. And there was a lot of resistance and like, hey, maybe you should just plan a plan B and take our direction and maybe doing, and I'm being honest, I don't want no issues with the label, but I'm being as transparent as possible. You know, I remember when I had the Promise record with Usher, there is an English version, and I recall telling them so adamantly, that's not gonna function. Yeah, but you know, there's certain stations that are not gonna Remember, this is before Despacito.
Yeah,
this it was much
This
different.
is before I like it like that.
This conversation leads up to that moment where that felt like a watershed at the time. You were on the record in 2017 saying Despacito, you know, Fonzie bringing Bieber in, that being a forever change. Like now looking back, we're almost a decade out from that. Do you feel like that was for real? Like that you can't go back after that. You can't put it back in the tube. Did that change everything in the way that you thought it might at the time?
I'll tell you right now, when I see the success of Despacito, the success of songs like I Like It, Cardi B, Bunny, Balvin, I'm like, oh shit, I was right.
Yep.
I was in the right fucking path. And I'm hoping the label and anyone that doubted at the time, my vision is like, Romeo was trying to tell us 15 years ago, this was the vibe. You know, I've always felt that our culture, our language, our music genres, tropical music is fucking beautiful. And you should embrace that. And it doesn't mean you need to get it. You know, if you're not familiar with the language, you know, the one thing you can't fake is when you do something authentic and
the sentiment.
Yeah, like you know, people feel it. You don't need to understand what he or she is singing. You don't even need to dance it on beat. You know, but there's just something genuine about what we do. We love what we do, that it just translates. It just, people perceive that. And I get it as well, like, you know, to be fair to them, you know, this is a business. Some labels are like, you want us to invest millions of dollars into this vision and there's no blueprint. Well, there's a very nice saying in Spanish. I'll say it in Spanish. De los cobardes no está escrito nada. You know, and help me translate that, brother?
People that don't have courage.
Nothing's been
written about someone
cowards.
that didn't, of cowards, yes,
right?
That didn't have courage.
They're
not
nobody's writing about the cowards.
You know, I feel like I was one of them. I don't want to say I was the only one. We did change the format of bachata, but it was truthful to us. This is what we grew up on.
Of course. And you'd already made that change. Like that change had already happened.
When I met Lenny and Mikey, shout out to Lenny and Mikey from Aventura, my cousin and I, Henry and I, we met these guys and Lenny was like listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers. Mikey was listening to Nirvana and Biggie Smalls, Tupac, just to name a few. So when they were musically making arrangements, that was the essence. It was like, but they were also listening to Anthony Santos, Luis Valgarolin, like we were. Yes. So we created the blueprint to bachata. And then this dude took it to another level as well. And no one could tell me at that time, no label, no manager, not even fans, respectfully, oh, you should not be doing this. You know, like sometimes you're gonna do things that, you know, you gotta crack that door a little so the next dude or the next group of artists.
And I do think, you know, a lot of the people you named who had success after, even Despacito bringing Bieber onto their remix and doing it most in Spanish, Balvin having Pharrell on his, you know, second, third album, sort of in his style, Bad Bunny bringing people into his world, including Drake. Like, I think, did that feel satisfying? Yeah, it was like, did you feel vindicated when then you say, oh, this blueprint works?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be extremely honest. Maybe at a 70% satisfaction. I'm going to tell you what's the other 30%. The 70% would be the success. Oh shit, the hit. These are classics now. The 30% is that, believe it or not, I still have a lot of hurdles. I don't know if that's the right terminology. I still have a lot of challenges. And I'll tell you honestly what they are. I still think bachata is underrated.
Underrated, 100%.
Well, I'm so glad that you're talking about this.
And I will tell you in which way. I'm a New Yorker. This dude is a New Yorker. Why haven't we been invited just to perform in Saturday Night Live?
Crazy.
I mean, I did sell out 2 Yankee stadiums. I did do 5 sold out MSGs with Aventura. I did do a MetLife with 80,000 plus. This dude has a lot of records. Probably has the record of the most #1s in tropical chart. These are the type of things that when I speak to my publicist and my label and my team, like, hey, could we at least perform so that we get that platform and continue
looking at the
we approve.
I'm saying,
we would do that.
Like, okay, like reggaeton, now corridos tumbados, you know, all these subgenres, obviously what Bad Bunny is doing on most recent album, going back to these traditional styles,
and also
tropical
about to be in the about to be in the halftime
about to be
show.
at the Super Bowl, which we'll get to. You know, like Rosalia, who's on the wall here doing boleros. You know, all these different styles having their little pop culture moments. You've had many of them. We've run through it. You know, like Spanish Girls Love Me Like I'm Aventura. Like that's a pop culture moment. We'll get back to that.
We have to talk about that.
But why has bachata not have its moment in that way that you're asking for in that final 30% or however much it is?
I wish I could answer that.
Do you wake up every day trying to
not every day,
every other day,
but some days.
But it's quite frustrating, if I'm being completely honest, that we still have these questions.
Obstacles,
you know, I mean, I've been blessed with probably the most loyal fans that an artist can ask for. I mean, these guys are so tolerant that I give them an album, every 3 years, 4 years sometimes, and they wait and they show up. Just like when I announced a tour, I appreciate Aventureros and Romeistas. They're there present. Unfortunately, I don't know why. And if I'm being honest, it goes deeper than why aren't we able to perform at a SNL. There's you know, it's the Grammy is it's a different narrative that we also ask ourselves. Like and I want to make myself very clear. I'm not the type that thinks that an award, you should not feel any validation if you win an award. I think any artist that steps foot in a recording studio to produce music thinking like, I want this to win all the awards, you're already off at a bat.
Bad start.
Like that should not be the objective, in my opinion. But nevertheless, it's something that I can't comprehend. I can't fathom that there's no category just for bachata. And it's not about Royce or Romeo, Aventura. Have an issue with there's no category in the Grammys for just bachata. I know for a fact, I won a Grammy after I don't know how many decades now for Formula Volume 3. And it was in a merengue bachata category. And it was a tie with Sergio Vargas. Shout out to Sergio, a living legend of merengue. I think these guys are probably misguided, disoriented, and don't understand our culture.
Yeah, it's the principle of it.
So, you know, if you're not empapado,
like educated
on our music, why should a group of people that don't understand this should be voicing their opinion and licensed
making
to
determinations?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
But there is, I think the last two conversational threads that we have just had actually overlap, because one of, I think, the decisions that you make in the early to mid 2010s by saying, I'm standing where I'm standing, and I'm asking Drake to come to me. I'm asking Usher to come to me. And Drake, musical genius. Usher, musical genius. They listen to your records. They're like, this guy, I see the vision. Not everybody out there is a musical genius. The average person who's not educated, who's not informed, may not know to do that. Right. And I think that can always be a challenge. But I agree with what you were saying before, which is the fact that you did that and held firm. That's actually what set the table for everything that came over the next 10 years. But there's a price for being early sometimes.
Right. And you see
that's the challenge.
You see this in every genre where trailblazers sometimes get skipped over, right? So I wonder, is it bittersweet to see Latin music on the world stage nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys alongside the biggest English language artists on stage at the Super Bowl in a couple of months, because you feel like your slice of Latin music has still not gotten its proper due?
You gonna answer that?
I think you just did answer that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer is probably, obviously we're probably both honored and grateful that we've supported Latin music through the years.
Of course.
If there's something bittersweet, I don't think it's hating on any of these artists. But for example, I remember when I came out, there weren't Latin categories in any award show, American award shows. So I'm talking AMAs or whatever. Now there's so many Latin categories, and I'm not hating on the artists for winning in those Latin categories, but I'm like, damn, man, when I came out, those awards weren't there. So I don't think it's I guess maybe you can call that bittersweet. But I think, everyone, I think as an artist, you also have to live with that every artist has a different road, a different path. Like in life, everyone has a different path.
Yeah,
ultimately,
that's fair.
I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's not even about them.
No, we're just kind of reviewing.
Yeah. But that's what we do want to say. If you book the music at Saturday Night Live, and you are not booking it like this, can we just say it with our chests? This is.
You've had those conversations over the years?
Absolutely.
There have been negotiations.
I mean, listen.
We're using SNL as a stand-in for something, but it also is one of the only stages you probably haven't touched other than the American Grammys.
I want to be as transparent as possible in this interview. When I see Bad Bunny in SNL, in Super Bowl, I go, that motherfucker deserves everything
100%.
and more.
Yeah.
Because he took maybe what every Latin artist that wanted to do a crossover, he took that to a different dimension. Being authentic.
Yes.
And I feel proud of his success as a Latino. Not to mention my mother's Puerto Rican, and I'm like, wow, that motherfucker, God bless you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if I'm being honest,
I
have seen other acts in certain platforms. And I'm like, okay, I see that artist, which I'm not going to get into names.
Not to compare.
In certain platforms that I've never been able to.
And you're like, wait, but why?
Headline.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Is there something, because my mission is always the same mission. Taking this music genre, bachata, that comes from el campo, las humildes provincias de República Dominicana. See, this is bigger than Royce and Romeo. This is about, where's Anthony Santos' Grammy?
Real talk.
Where's Luis Valgas' Grammy? Where's Raulin's Grammy? If
recognition,
you would maybe nominate these guys or maybe have invited them to some of these major platforms, I could not be here talking this shit. But they give me the leverage. There's things that I don't understand. You know, I grew up listening to Anthony Santos, and I don't like comparisons, but, you know, just an analogy. To me, Teodoros would be equivalent to, as far as the craft, a Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Anthony Santos is probably my Bob Marley.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like there's some connection there.
Yeah,
with reggae,
you feel me?
know?
So again, this is not about us. We are probably part of, I want to say, I don't want to play victim, but we get shitted on with the music genre. And all I'm asking is just educate yourself on what bachata is. Feel me? It may not, from their perspectives, maybe Royce's, Romeo's material may not be wordy musically from their vision, right? That's your opinion, it's cool. But are you really sitting there and evaluating these bachata albums? Because if they were, they probably would not understand. They would understand the difference between merengue and bachata.
Of course.
You know, and I think that this is deeper than nomination. This is, like I said, this is about a lot of, we could be here another hour just talking about the things that they should be at least supporting and not ignoring in terms of our music.
You think it's a broader perception on the part of tastemakers or people, gatekeepers, who fundamentally misunderstand the art form of bachata and maybe other Latin, Spanish language art forms? Maybe reggaeton is a little bit more accessible. Maybe do you think that there's people who see that and say, I can understand that and see myself in that, but for some reason bachata remains obscure to them or inaccessible?
I have several theories.
Okay.
You know, some of them I'll keep to myself.
Or not.
Or not. Yeah, I did say I wanted to be honest. It's sad when you probably have a group of people that dictate what should or shouldn't be recognized, nominated, or part of our network, whatever you want to call it, based on personal reasons. There's a lot of politicking in this business that I have not done. I'm fully aware I have not, from their standards, played nice. But last time I checked, this was the music industry. It was about music.
Also, to add on top of that, something I've been thinking a lot is, particularly with the rise of corridos tumbados, to me, that's the closest parallel to what you guys did with bachata in the 90s into the 2000s. You take a music that's cultural music, and that's also, on a lot of levels, folk music. It's hand music, it's hand played, you know.
Kind of country.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you skip over reggaeton and Latin trap and look at just how fast things have happened in the world of corridos tumbados, 7 years ago, we wouldn't have been talking about it at all.
Right.
Now it's the dominant sound of Mexican-American music, and also it's global. And to me, that's the closest analog to what you guys did for bachata, but you did it in an era where the eyeballs weren't there, the streaming wasn't there, all these access points were not there.
Right.
And so it's striking. I mean, it's, again, we're talking to two extremely successful people here. I want to be very clear about that. But all of these systems that maybe smooth the growth of a space like that were simply not in play in your earliest days. And I can understand watching from a distance and say, damn, we didn't have those awards. We didn't have Spotify playlists. We didn't have Spotify, you know, like we didn't have any of these things. We had no way to go out and find new people to introduce them to what we were doing. So I can understand that frustration.
You guys have both been active politically via music. You were one of the first Spanish-speaking artists to call out Trump by name back in 2015. Royce, you played at the DNC.
Oh yeah.
You've both.
You played at the White House, if I'm not mistaken. You played for Obama.
You've been to the White House. Like,
take that, SNL.
You want me to do some skids? I'll kill that too.
I think that's right.
I think
you're a
that's
funny
true.
guy.
Yeah.
in the last couple of years.
What do you mean I'm a funny guy?
There we
In
go.
a good way, in a good way.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh.
You want to do the whole scene?
We do the whole scene. We go line for line, bar for bar.
This is a pro Goodfellas podcast, obviously. Last couple of years, many stories written, including by our great newspaper, about Latin voters moving to the right. In New York, obviously, mayoral election was a counterpoint to all of that. What is the role for Spanish language artists in America, in Mexico, in the Caribbean, to speak out about what's going on with deportations and ICE and the way it's affected touring, visas? Do you find that to be a place that needs your input as somebody at the top of your field?
I think it's a complicated question. And I think the country's just been so divided in general where it's like tricky to answer these questions. But I will say this. I think for me as a Latin artist, it's always been important to kind of represent my family who are immigrants from the Dominican Republic, who came with a dream, who then I'm from the projects, Patterson Projects in the South Bronx. But I think obviously we're going through a rough time. And I think right now it's all about just support, trying to show support to the Latin community. People are going through tough times. Obviously not everybody is a criminal in life in general. And not just Latin community. I think I want to speak on a broad aspect of things. But it's obviously a difficult time. And I think for me, it's all about at least just trying to show support to the Latin community that's been there for us as Latin artists that have always supported our music. I grew up with, I say I'm 200%. I feel like I'm 100% American. I'm 100% Dominican. And I wasn't born in DR. I didn't live in DR. I would go every summer. But I feel very Dominican as I feel American. So I think it's a time for unity and just to try to promote love and peace, no matter what side you're on,
And I will say this, because I do remember that occasion. I believe that was in the Barclays.
At Barclays, you said fuck Trump.
I'll remind you what you said.
Yeah. No. And I'm not trying to take it back.
Yeah.
I could tell you that I've evolved in so many aspects that I can't say I regret what I said, in the sense that I'm always me and there's different versions of me. If you ask me today what's my opinion about any of that, I would tell you I think artists should stick to music, and the ones that decide they want to get into talking about politics and
religion. It could be.
I also do believe in freedom of speech. I just feel that I'd rather promote love, unity, and just kind of understand that people have different views in religion, policy, even sports. Like I see people fight and shit get out of pocket violently because you have
let's go Knicks.
No, the Mets.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
So basically, it's like, look, I'm here to give you music and entertain you.
So as the temperature is rising and the polarization is increasing and the clashes, both literally and figuratively, are getting more intense, your instinct at this moment is to take a step back, not to go deeper into the fray.
Not necessarily. I'm telling you from my perspective. Me.
Yeah, I mean you personally.
Yeah, like any artist that wants to go out there and talk about anything, as long as it's respectful, diplomatic. I don't see anything wrong with two people sharing two completely different views. I could tell you from that instant when I went on stage, I had a few drinks. It came from a frustration because basically I'm for the people, and if I felt at the time that my Latinos were being belittled, I just said what I felt at the moment. It doesn't mean I want to get into how I feel about it now in retrospect, but I just regret not focusing on what I'm here to do, which is give good music and only talk about that. Doesn't mean maybe tomorrow I may wake up and say, fuck this person, fuck that person, and it's how I felt, and it's how I probably would feel.
Do you think it harmed you to be vocal at that time? Was there blowback?
Not at all.
Either politically or in your family? Like maybe you have family members who disagree. Was there anything where the next day or the next week someone said, hey man, like you can't say that. You shouldn't say that. Please don't say that.
Well, I tell you what, at the time I had one kid. Now I have 5 in total. I think when you get older, a good way to evaluate what you need to work on in yourself is if they ask you, hypothetically speaking, do you want your kids to be exactly like you? If you're able to say, hell yeah, and hopefully you're not ignorant, but if we're being objective and you are analyzing shit, I don't want my kids to be like this. I don't want them to have this defect. I want them to be a little bit more respectful, not to be so impulsive or whatever it is that you feel is a weakness in your essence. Then that tells you got to work on yourself because kids are going to basically be what they see, not what they hear. So not to get off the topic, I probably feel that it's best to just say things in a respectful manner. You know,
so it's more about the tone of what you said, not the not the
you know.
content
And
for
again,
you,
I think you have to learn from your personal experiences and not have any regrets because you're gonna learn from a mistake probably more than from a successful moment.
Yeah,
I believe, and I've always said, not to sound muy, how you say it? No, cuando tú quieres ser muy filósofo.
Philosophical.
I've personally learned more from my failures, my mistakes, que los logros.
Sure.
So I would just say I don't want my kids ever to go on stage or any public place like, fuck this guy, fuck that guy. Like, so I'm like, you know what? Lead by example. That's what I meant.
Before we get into our lightning round, we alluded earlier to the Drake moment. You have the song together.
Y se me olvida que ya te perdí. Celo sus besos sobre tu cuerpo.
Before that, on the motto, he has the line, Spanish girls love me like I'm Aventura.
Some Spanish girls love me like I'm Aventura.
Take us back to
hearing that for the first
what,
time.
how did that come to you?
Yeah. How were the texts
That
that
song came out
day?
before
Did you immediately bring him to Fordham Road, or you waited a little bit?
Yeah, well,
we're talking Fordham, Dykeman, like where,
Yeah.
Where did you bring him once you heard that? You know?
well, keep in mind, you know, there were a lot of like amazing milestones that I'm so blessed and grateful that I've accomplished. Like when I first recorded with Usher, you know, I grew up on Usher, you know, and to be able to see such amazing vocalist, artist, musician singing bachata to me was like a surreal moment. When Drake said Spanish girl loves me, I knew something was up because everybody was hitting me up.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like, either someone died or and I had not released any music project at the moment, so I was a bit concerned till I got the feedback of what these calls were about and text messages. And I was like, oh shit, I'm the type that I try to capitalize of good moments, you know, and that was a moment that I think everyone felt proud to be Dominican, Bachata fan.
Yeah.
So I remember like within a few days, I was already on the phone with his management.
You had never met him before.
No. I was a huge fan.
Sure.
But I'm like, okay, is this shit like a punchline or you really fuck with us?
About it. Right.
And he was such a like cool dude on the phone, like, oh, what? Of course I fuck with Aventura. You know, I've been following the legacy, the group, and as a solo artist. So we just started talking about a collaboration immediately.
Yeah.
And mind you, you know, again, I had already recorded with Usher and he was singing bachata and he was singing also a few lines in Spanish. I wanted to continue that format, and Drake, he got it. Like, he was the one, to be honest, that wanted to sing Spanish.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do a bachata.
He was on the Duolingo.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
he was like,
how did you
listen,
coach him through the pronunciation? Because he still gets some jokes, I think, for his pronunciation on the record.
Well,
but
not on my record. My record, and again, no, I don't want to throw shade at anyone, but I do believe that when we talk about like collaborations, I probably should be top 10 with Drake. As far as like his collabs with other artists that people weren't expecting.
Sure.
Shit, Audio's a classic. You know, that's a song that he ripped it. He sounds amazing. No one ever said, it's forced. No, that's one of those records that was a
immediate
instant hit.
The great A&R of our time, Drake. Like truly
Drake A&R.
sees the whole field.
A wide listener.
Yeah.
All right. Time for the lightning round. This is the Popcast card deck. 52 cards. Each one corresponds to a pre-written question. Some of them are silly.
52 questions?
Some of them are deep. No, you're
You
gonna
have to do
you're
all
gonna
of
pick
them.
a couple cards. So you're gonna pull a card, and then whichever one of you feels more comfortable answering can take the question. If you want to throw yourself in front of one of
he'll do the
them
hard
to
ones.
protect him, but we'll pull a couple cards and John will read the questions. What do you got?
3.
3 of hearts.
3 of hearts.
All right. As a kid, what is a song that made you feel powerful? Not like a child, but like you felt like you could puff your chest to as a song.
For me, Rocky.
The
Oh,
theme
yeah?
song?
Yeah.
Theme song from Rocky?
Yeah, it still does. I run to that shit. I'm like,
That's your
Still, you're running, you're out there.
taking the stage
Yeah.
music.
yeah.
You got
For
one, Royce?
me, I don't know if like strong, like I'm about to lift weight, but a song that I thought was powerful for me at the time, Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know, it was like
Mhm.
the scary voice,
Mhm.
the beat. Like it hyped me up, you know, as that's a song that I always remember, like as
we
a
only
kid.
got one.
Nah, just keep right,
You know
tap
what's
in.
another
Got
one
another
that
one?
makes
Go.
me like I like to run,
Yeah.
and I don't know why this record just makes me run faster.
Mhm.
Anthony Santos, El Perrito.
Oh yeah.
Gente que saben el bochinche. Yo tampoco juego, brother.
As soon as I hear that,
You just
I'm out.
Yeah. 5 miles. Can I get it?
do a 5
So
clip
the
easy.
pump up playlist is the Rocky theme into
Yes,
That's what it
La
says.
Batalla. La Batalla, El Perrito.
All right, Royce, pull a card.
Q of clubs.
Queen of Clubs.
Q. I said Q. Queen of
Okay.
clubs.
Oh, okay. This is a good one. Actually, I'd like to hear both of you on this one. In your friend group, your personal friend group, are you the alpha figure? Are you the boss in your friend group?
I talk a lot of shit on the chats, but I don't know if I'm the boss. I mean, I don't.
That's a great question. I mean, you want,
No, you can go.
Yeah.
I mean, with my friends, I would say I don't know if the.
You look like the alpha in the text messages.
Just lean in. Just say it. It's okay. Just-
in the friends. I mean, I do tend to lead. We're
Yeah.
gonna eat this. I also have a. I don't know if this is good or bad. Una costumbre of ordering for everyone.
Okay.
So I pride myself on
That's
having
alpha
good
behavior.
taste.
That is
That's
alpha.
behavior. Here's what
That's
I'm going to say,
100%.
though. I got to just be real with you. It's really hard not to be the alpha if you're the richest.
We're gonna go right here.
Look,
No,
maybe your
no,
friends are
I-
tech
You might have-
founders
you
and
might
they
have
have more
super rich
cash
friends.
than you.
Listen,
Yeah, that's what I'm
let me-
saying. I
let
don't
me
know.
be honest.
But
To be honest, I've had dinner with some pretty wealthy people.
And you're still the
I'm the
alpha.
weakest link, and I'm like, yo, trust me.
I got this
Order.
order.
My
got it.
palate is.
He thinks he's the food god.
I don't think I know I am.
Okay.
That
All right, we're getting
duck
to
one
the snack.
time at you
We're
know
getting
what?
to the
Wait,
snack
that's not
soon.
fair.
Don't
See,
worry.
He's been judging me because I had a.
Don't say the name of the restaurant,
But
but
that
that
was,
duck
yeah, we're not gonna
wasn't.
say. But it's not an off day. This doesn't count. I order. As soon as I taste it, I'm like, this is off today.
You knew.
Yeah, I told you. Am I-
Oh yeah. You at least you admitted it.
yeah, so I
You're like,
should-
it wasn't the order,
But he
it
was
was the
going
kitchen.
off about this duck.
So
I don't
I
really
can
eat
tell
ducks.
you that, yeah, as far as the friend group, yeah, I could probably be the leader.
You're making the
At-
calls. You're the
at-
QB.
Yeah, at home, I don't call no shots.
Okay.
Is that true?
I mean, I'm.
What is
There
that?
we
But
go.
what is that? I actually wonder, what is that like? Do you have to put some part of yourself like in your back pocket when you're at home and just be like, yes?
I mean,
Or on the
I'm
flip side,
here.
is it nice to be able to be like,
Well,
I'm
the
gonna,
truth is
not
that
gonna make any
every-
decisions behind the closed doors.
well, my wife has just this great perspective on what we should or shouldn't do
Mm-hmm.
as far as like personal matters go at home. You know, she decides where the kids are gonna go, where they shouldn't go.
Mhm.
And the times that I've had some input, I've fucked up.
Failed.
So I'm like,
It's all you,
Take care of
babe.
you got this, baby. You got this.
She's going to be incredibly excited that you told that
Yeah.
you've admitted to that in
Yeah.
public.
It's on
So
tape.
It's on tape,
camera.
on 5
Yeah,
cameras.
she's gonna play for you. Next time you try to pick where you're
He
going
made
on
it hard on
vacation, she's gonna
himself.
be like,
Actually, he made it hard on himself.
No, Romeo.
You have to
Admitting
edit
it.
this.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said on
He
the
made
New
it
York
hard on himself.
Times.
Admitting it.
All right, pull another card.
5.
5
Five of
hearts.
hearts. Okay. This is similar to the first question, but more community based. I think this is a good one. What was a song that turned up your high school?
Turned up my high school.
Yeah, like the 16-year-old.
I don't know if this turned up my high school, but you mentioned
you and
song
your
and high
friends at high
school.
school. Yeah.
And I remember that graduation song, As We Go On.
Vitamin C.
Remember.
All right.
All the times we had together.
Leaving
I don't know
school.
if they turned up with that, but you mentioned like high school and song, all the times we had together. I think that was my graduation song.
I'm gonna say Biggie.
Biggie.
all a dream. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
I came with the softest song. And
He said
hardest
juicy.
record.
But
Yeah.
you say you're
Yeah.
44, so you graduated high school like 98 or 99?
I don't remember. But I do recall that was the record that,
Mhm.
at least for me, like
Which one? You remember which
it
one?
was several of Biggie, but
Yeah.
that Juicy record,
Yeah.
Juicy, Biggie,
and
Biggie,
even the
Biggie.
Big Papa too. Like
Big
I
Papa,
record
big.
every morning before going to school for several years.
Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Always like bopping to that Big Papa record.
Sure.
Just because I feel like you guys will appreciate it because of the age I am and where I went to high school. Gasolina was that was the
Gasolina was
only
crazy.
was the only thing at my prom 2 years in a row, junior prom, senior prom was only that.
Huh.
I remember a lot of Wisin and Yandel, Zion as well during that time. Like Zundara, remember that Zundara?
What year
I mean,
did you
there was
graduate
so
high school?
many. There was
I
so
don't remember.
Nobody
You know, I
remembers
never-
it.
They're like school.
I
That's
just
That's
never
not a
kept
real
track of
thing.
what year I graduated.
Oh my god.
That's a
I
luxury.
don't think it's
They would-
like
I
a-
know you don't want to know how old
That means no, but that
everybody
means
is.
you
I
really made
know.
it. If you don't remember when you graduated high school, that means
Class
you really
of-
made it as an artist.
Yeah.
School of Hard Knocks,
All right,
class of today.
let's pull one more and then we'll do a snack test.
Of course.
Q of Spades.
This is a good one. No one's pulled this yet.
All right, new question.
You're on a long flight. What do you do? How do you handle a long flight? You watching movies? You kicking your shoes on, shoes off?
Raw dogging,
headphones?
How
straight
long-
ahead,
Math.
nothing.
How long we're talking?
Let's say New York,
5
LA,
hours,
Miami,
5
LA,
hours.
5-6 hours.
I get overwhelmed.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm not a fan of like long flights.
Mhm.
But what I tend to do is I record melodies for some reason.
Voice notes.
Yeah, voice notes.
Mhm. So you're flying private, obviously, because you're not doing
Not
that.
always.
Okay.
Not always.
You're doing that in first class?
You're in the little
Oh, yeah, I go
first
to the
class
bathroom.
bed.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
bathroom. in the-
Humming?
Okay.
Yeah. What else I do? I write down phrases that come to mind,
Mhm.
and I may use them eventually on a song.
You watching movies or no movies?
do, I
You
do.
will.
I take that time to listen to music and to just grind video games. Like it's an
What's your
easy
game?
What are you
grind.
playing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's your game?
system.
Nintendo Switch or phone games, or like just recently I replayed like 4 Pokemon games that was backed up on.
Mhm.
Easy on the flights, easy grind on the flights. Pop in 5 hours easy.
And what's the outfit situation? You extra cozy for a flight, or you dressed up because it's like I'm me. I gotta dress up.
Oh, and I'm always like on sweats,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
comfortable.
Mhm.
If I'm on a commercial flight, which I tend to, I do a lot of commercial flights. One pro that came from COVID
Yeah.
is that I put on my,
Yeah, man.
just
Don't tell them too
chilling.
many tricks. Don't
You
tell
got
them too many
Yankees
tricks.
hat, Yankees hat, COVID mask. You get,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just chilling. Sometimes they're like, I know it's you,
Which is
but I'm usually comfortable just
low-key.
low key.
low key.
Yeah, I think that's the way. Not to bully anyone, but I
No,
never
bully away.
understood. I never understood artists that came full, like they got their chain on, they got their glasses on, full
like on the
full
flight.
persona on like the airport. I'm like, bro.
Because they don't want to get TMZ'd looking like a fool, looking sloppy.
I don't know. I'm trying to avoid TMZ as a whole. I mean, I didn't say nothing bad, right?
No.
Anytime I see this guy dressed flashy in the airport, I'm coming for him.
That's
Yeah,
true.
bro.
Like you said.
Yeah.
I don't even dress flashy in my regular life, actually. I'm pretty just like t-shirt. Yeah.
No
But at the
chains.
shows,
Oh yeah, the shows,
At
yeah,
the
but I'm
shows, you
saying
gotta
even
show
like at a
out.
regular personal,
Mhm.
I'm actually just like, I don't like to like choose outfits.
you're not trying to show out. You know what?
No, I'm kidding.
You have a person
but
for that.
but
I'm sure.
I keep it chill. Airport
Yeah.
sweats.
I'm
You should
confident.
erase that. Did I bully anyone?
No, come on. No.
You're such, I could tell you're a nice guy if you think that's
I'm chill. I'm
bullying.
chill.
Yeah, that's true.
Nah, it's
That's
chill.
true. I think that's
We've said way worse in this room.
Yes.
If
we've
I know there's
insulted
gonna be
people's
cameras,
music
actually,
tastes, their fashion
try to
tastes.
dress up.
Really? You guys seem so nice. I mean,
Yeah, you guys
We're
are chill.
nice and thoughtful and knowledgeable and not scared to speak our truth.
It's also our
That's good.
job to be
That's-
judgmental.
yeah,
You know?
that's
you
good.
know, it's
That's
like this
good.
is
In a way.
being truthful is part of the job.
You know what? My New Year's resolution, I'm gonna start dressing up. at
Untuck the
airport.
chain.
Yeah, I'm gonna swag out
You
on
gonna
the,
swag
on
out?
the airport.
All right. We'll see you in January.
I'm gonna do that. Now we'll coordinate.
okay.
Every episode of Popcast ends with a snack. You guys walked in, perused
love
the
candy.
pantry.
Good.
You were impressed, I think, by our international
Yeah,
selection.
the global stretch.
Yeah.
of this.
And you picked an international snack. You picked these icy gummy bears from
That's
Mexico.
good.
Mm.
I think these were a gift.
Oh, is that where they're from? I didn't know who got them.
Yeah.
I didn't get them.
I'm sorry I forgot who gave this to us, but shout out to
Shout out to
you
you.
because I've been eyeing these for a couple weeks because this is the kind of thing that I would buy on my own. Like if I was in Mexico and I saw this in the bodega, like I would 1,000% have already eaten the whole pack. So I'm glad we're finally get to go in here. These are cherry and blueberry flavored icy gummy bears.
But I will say this, it's funny that they're from Mexico because I looked at that and immediately I was like, that seems like something I would buy in New York.
Right.
Like that seems like something that you could get at a
I
bodega.
can't wait to taste this.
All
So
right,
I'm-
all right.
And I
I'm-
barely eat candy.
Are
Really?
you not a gummy guy in
Are you
general?
not a sweet
Gummy
I
guy?
mean,
guys?
I have my day. Like honestly, I probably would pig out as far as candy
Mhm.
twice a year.
Okay.
Twice a year?
Well,
Yeah.
That's it?
Well,
I'm like
that's
crazy.
twice a week.
But
I'll
it'd
do
probably
that,
be
I'll-
equivalent to eating almost every week.
I can eat that whole box by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah. Okay, so where are you at on ices? You pull up to the movies? You're at the Regal. You ever get an icy or no? It's not your. not
You
your
mean
thing.
the actual ice?
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
Never.
no.
You're an icy guy.
I
I would have
You
a
seem
Coke-
like an icy guy.
I'll do a
Coke
Coke,
icy.
Slurpee from 7-Eleven. The sort of fruit flavors to me on the icy are like a little too sweet. It's like too sweet, too cold, but the Coke kind of like smooths it out a little bit.
I think these are beautiful.
Yes,
Wait,
they are.
frankly.
Are they like
They're a little sour.
They're like little
Yeah, I like-
they
like
got
Sour
sour. No,
Packs.
Oh, they're like-
gummy. They're bears. They're bears.
phenomenal? Great news.
Those
Great
are good, those are good when they put them in the cocktails.
All right, I'm taking one red.
No,
one.
but you put it
Like,
in
you know
the
when you have it in the
cocktail.
cocktail, like-
Yo!
I'm taking
That's-
one red, one blue, but you guys do whatever you need to
Okay.
do.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
They're like chubby bears. They're like
Chubby,
a little.
okay.
They're like a wider.
Okay, so
than
like, is the
hard.
Don't
form-
body
is the-
shame them.
The
Jesus.
format for us to eat them at the same
Yeah,
time?
you do
Eat whenever you
wanna
want,
do.
and then we'll rate them
rank
at the
out
end.
of 10.
Did you get a red and a blue, Romeo?
Fire.
You only took
You
red.
got it.
I only took red.
Get a blue as well.
Fire.
Okay. This is good.
Oh yeah,
Crazy good.
it's hitting.
Damn. Now I'm all right. I'm feeding. Okay, let's go.
Hmm.
All right. So.
It's a great
I
coffee.
can eat the whole bag easy.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm trying to tell you, son.
They're kind of like,
yeah. Talk it out.
you know, they're kind of like not
This
Twizzlers.
tastes like a Slurpee. Slurpee is it called?
Slurpee.
Slurpee.
Slurpee, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But I like the
Um,
red better.
as advertised.
What are the
Cherry-
long ones
cherry's
that are
better.
rainbow? The long ones that are thin.
Yeah, like sour tape,
like
whatever.
sour. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I like the blue better.
Really?
I think the blue has like a brightness to it.
Let's not pick
The
gummy
red
bears against
feels-
each other. It's a harmony. It's a Prince Royce and Romeo Santos
Like the red one.
collab. You know what I'm saying?
Who's red and who's blue?
I think red in any candy is good.
Yeah, it's superior. In my
I think
opinion.
this is a great gummy bear.
I think you know what I like about it. Sometimes when you have a regular gummy bear, you're chewing on it, and it's just like it's so tough to chew. It just takes so much labor. These are very light,
But they're not
easy-
too soft.
No, they're not too soft, but they're light
really,
to chew.
really,
You know which
really
one's like that?
good.
The one you ever
Really
go
good.
Cold Stone ice cream and they got
Yeah.
those are hard.
No, those are like little like marbles.
Well, also, if you put on ice cream, then it gets extra.
You're right, but for whatever reason, those are always crazy.
Yeah.
But I even try to put them in the microwave.
No,
they're
this
so
is
hard.
like a very breathable gummy bear.
This is
I
a
think.
strong bear. Not too sour.
But it's not sour.
I could do a
fuck
little
that.
more sour.
sour. Me too.
So I would say like for me, 8.5 out of 10.
the blue for me, honestly, is
Yeah,
like a 3.
Damn.
The blue, yeah.
Really?
But the
right.
cherry, out of 10,
Out of 10.
7.5.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
I give it a
Royce, where
9.
you at? That's
9
a 9.
across.
Yeah.
9 for the box.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat the whole. Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, give me the
Give
rest.
I like those type of candy,
Yeah,
like sour, more
It's
than
my
sweet.
speed too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm kind of the opposite of where Romeo is at. Like to me, the brightness of the blue averages out to a 7. I think it's a blue 8, red 6. So it's averaging
This
out.
guy's just
to
trying to
7.
challenge
Now
me.
put it.
I'm just simply saying, as a man of independent taste and judgment, it's important that I speak my truth.
Now put it in a
It's just
Moscow
like
Mule.
you
How would it taste in a
respect that.
Moscow Mule?
What's that?
Put it in a Moscow Mule now. How would it taste?
Oh,
I'm
that's
kidding.
well. as
John's
a-
never had a Moscow.
I've never
Mule.
had
You never had a
Moscow-
Moscow? You don't drink?
I don't drink.
Oh, okay, good for
Yeah,
you.
no.
How many? A lot of years?
50 years.
Wow, good for you. Never ever a drink.
never drank?
Interesting.
I've
Good
never
for
had a
you.
drink.
Oh.
Congratulations, man.
So he's never appropriately appreciated.
Well,
bachata.
you know, I should take this. Wait.
Am I wrong? Am I
Josh,
wrong?
I should take this moment to say something that I'm a virgin.
Go for it.
I've never drank or taste coffee.
Coffee, incredible,
No.
crazy. We
People
just
don't
talked
believe
about
me. Never.
Never a sip of coffee.
I've never.
that. Isn't that weird? That's
Never.
crazy.
I was like
Dominicans
that
love
until
coffee.
No.
I was about 40. I also had never had coffee, and then I just
crazy. You guys are
I
crazy.
don't. Then I just woke up one
You wanna
day
do
and
it
I
on
was like, I
camera?
should have it.
No,
Yeah, now's your
crazy.
time. We
That's
got
what's up,
cameras.
man.
I don't like the smell.
No, don't break his
Interesting.
streak. Don't break his
No,
streak.
no, that's your.
I mean, it's
You have some coffee. I'll have a drink. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say.
It's all water for you.
Yeah.
Water
No,
all the
that's-
way down.
That's super fascinating. It's the smell for you.
Yeah, ever since I was a child, it just, I don't know, there's like this funny energy that reminds me of boring Sundays at home, not being able to play with my friends in the playground, and that smell of coffee.
As like the thing
Damn.
holding.
Yeah,
you
so I
back.
don't know if it's a trauma,
It
sounds like it.
but I
That's
just
crazy.
don't, I mean, it's not like when I smell coffee, I'm like, oh my God, you know, but it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't
Dog,
call
let me
my
tell you,
attention.
get you an iced latte from Dunkin',
Duncan.
That's a
almond
gateway
milk,
drug.
almond
That's a
milk,
gateway
too
drug.
Splenda.
But I tell
Go
you
in.
what, you're not missing out as far as alcohol.
No,
You know,
100%, you're good
you know
with
what's
that.
crazy? What I like about alcohol is that buzz, like that tipsiness.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's
It's,
really
not,
hard to find the sweet spot to not
yeah,
tip
like
over too
like
far.
I'm more of a fruity alcohol drinker.
Mhm,
Like
You know,
cognac
like
company.
mhm.
I'm more of a, and I mean, and listen, there was a time in my life when I was drinking, you know,
Yeah.
but I never actually enjoyed the taste.
Right. But you want like a beach drink. You want like a
I prefer
Right,
yeah.
something bright. Okay, before we go, I'm sorry, I have to ask one last question. I know it's not. It has to be said. Aventura shows and Romeo Santos shows are some of the most intensely romantic, moist ass shows that you could go to.
just say erotic.
Erotic. These are erotic shows, and I want to talk about. It's just you got to be honest. How early did that start, and how is it taxing at all that you know that every night there is a woman out in the crowd that you are going to have mouth contact?
You've
with?
seen that. We've all seen the headlines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woman divorces husband after
Like,
being
we
on
know,
stage and
we
Romeo
know,
Santos got-
we
you
know.
know,
And
it's
if you
like-
don't know, Google it.
If you
Go
don't
on
know, now
YouTube
you know.
and watch this. But tell me, like, when did that start, and how important is that to the show? And is there any part of it where you're just like, no, I got to make out with another woman tonight? Like,
Well, first of all, let's clarify that I do not make out with the fans in every show.
We've seen the videos. We've seen the videos.
well, which every other show?
No,
What
you
percent?
Know, you know well, what's interesting about my concerts, it's that interaction with the fans, and they make the show because, if I'm being honest, 98% of what you see, it's all improvised. It's so organic that I don't know if you guys recently seen, like, I believe it was last year. This girl goes on stage. Estadio Olímpico in Dominican Republic. And the reason why she was chosen to go on stage is because she had a big banner. Bring me on stage.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. That's all my staff didn't have any further information. And this girl just happened to hug me and kiss me, you know, which has happened before. So I didn't think anything. And then this crazy controversial situation went viral
becomes
that
a news cycle.
yeah, that her husband was divorcing her. And I was like, oh my God, you know? I mean, I think that the whole interaction with the fans and also some of the most viral moments are these guys that I bring on stage to sing Ella Yo and other records, classics. Remember, I started performing in little nightclubs and the crowd was tough. You know, they were like, entertain me, motherfucker. You know, so I've always had that, you know, I have to make sure that everyone leaves this show like this shit was the greatest or one of the greatest experiences of my life as far as concert. So it just works well for me. And the girls on stage with the kisses, yeah, that's probably like 50, out of 50 shows, it probably happens in, I don't know, 30 of them? 30?
So that's the majority.
No,
that's more than half.
It sometimes is a lot less, but it goes viral.
Yeah,
it's the
it
same
gets
situation.
amplified.
You only see
I was
it
telling
if
you
it
about
happens.
the songs that the themes, infidelity, listen, there's people that are not too familiar with my music. And they go, dude, is that all you write about, infidelity, and you're taking someone's girl? I'm like, no, it's actually a 20% of my music as far as themes, but those are the ones that people engage with the most. Yeah.
I just want to say, I was there at MSG at the Aventura tour in like 07, up to Yankee Stadium, front row. Shout out Kim Merrow. We were there on the front row at Yankee Stadium. I have seen you kiss a lot of women. I just want to be honest.
Every single time.
I just want to be honest.
I mean,
And
3 out of 5.
5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. But there's no burden attached to that. You're a man of the people. You're delivering. It's a service that you're providing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, and look, sometimes to be fair, they're kissing me.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
that'll
showing
hold up
that love.
holds up in court every time.
Very important.
I could do this all afternoon. Romeo Santos, Prince Royce. What a privilege to have y'all on Popcast. That is our show. Every episode of Popcast is at youtube.com/Popcast, nytimes.com/Popcast. Get us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever all else at Popcast. Credits and link in bio. We will be back next week. Get hydrated on Romeo's level. That's all I got to say.
That's it.
That's
The only thing gonna go viral is that he kisses girls 5 out of 5.
Bori, que saquen el romo, que llegue con los guerreros.